So hello everyone. Today I am here with Huda, and Huda is a student who is part of our academy program, and we're so excited to sit down with her today because she's had so much success in the program already. It's still a little bit early to hear back from committees, which is great. And Huda is from Halifax, Nova Scotia, so she's 4 hours ahead right now. So I'm really grateful for her taking the time to sit down with me today. And Huda, I'm just going to get you to first express maybe what your career goals are and what faculty you want to go into in post-secondary school.
Yeah, of course. I've always, for the longest time, had thought of going into psychology.
Mm,
And this past year, I've kind of been debating if I wanted to do a Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts. So I applied for a Bachelor of Arts, and I feel like that's kind of where my heart is,
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna hopefully pursue a Bachelor of Arts in psychology and go into more specifically developmental psychology. So that's like working with children and
yeah.
their development throughout the years. So yeah.
I love that. That is amazing. That's going to be like really impactful as a
Mhm.
career. And I took a psych minor when I was in UBC, and it's just
Yeah.
fascinating the different types of
Mhm.
courses that you can take within psychology. They basically kind of get you to take the first kind of general psych in your first year, and then you can really get specific along the years of
Yeah, exactly.
secondary. It's so cool.
Mhm.
I'm so
Yeah,
excited for
I'm
you.
so yeah.
That's awesome. And so, Hannah, where were you at with the scholarship process and university application process prior to grade 12?
I was nowhere really, honestly, to put it that way. I was nowhere. I was so lost. I didn't know what to expect from scholarships, when I should even apply, when I should even start thinking about it. That wasn't even on my mind at that point. Um, that's when I kind of like came across GrantMe and I was like, okay, like this might be something that can get me in the habit of like looking at scholarships, helping me, like guiding me through the whole process. Because I've always thought like I wouldn't have to worry about that until like the end of grade 12, not even like entering it. I thought that was like way ahead of me. I still have a lot of time, all that
Yeah.
stuff. But no, it comes a lot more quickly than I would think. So honestly, I was nowhere near where I should have been at the beginning, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I've kind of caught up now, so which is really good.
For sure, yeah. And I find that with a lot of students, they either have like somewhat of a knowledge about what to expect and maybe a few local scholarships, but with
Mhm.
the breakdown of everything with university deadlines, staying on top of your
Yeah.
deadlines with all the external and high school scholarships, I feel like it's a bit of a daze as to like where to get started or how to
Yeah.
approach this method. So that's good. It's good to know because, a lot of students can relate to that
Mhm.
prior to starting this whole process. And I
Yeah.
also just want to mention that Huda is also a recipient of an entrance scholarship from Mount St. Vincent for $16,000. And we're so happy for her. And it's still early in the scholarship season. So for her to already win that amount, that is fantastic. And so, yeah, I
Thank
just wanted to
you.
include that in here and how proud we are of you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. And so how did you get to where you're at now?
Where I'm at now, it's kind of a lot of motivation and goal setting. That's a big, big thing, a big component of this whole program and kind of just this whole process in general. Goal setting, that's like a must. I've never like any goal that I haven't put my mind to, like I can't do anything without setting a goal. And I feel like that's the way it should be for everyone. Because once you set a goal, you have a clear understanding of, okay, I need to do this to get to like that point. And that's kind of where I've got like I did not have a goal at the beginning of the year. Like September, I didn't have a goal. I was like, okay, I'll just wait, see like what my friends are applying to. I'll kind of like apply to the same things.
Yeah.
Like we have some stuff in common. But I realized that I need to make my own goals. I need to have my own motivation to do things, not just because my friends are applying to stuff or like my parents are telling me to, my older brother is telling me to, all that stuff. So it's kind of like a personal motivation alongside like a lot of goal setting and dedication to the goal.
For sure. Yeah, no, exactly. And I hear you on that because I feel like a lot of students might enter this whole process and think about, okay, like what is everyone else doing? I got to start kind of looking at it that way. But then again, like you just mentioned, it's all about like that inner motivation as well. And like
Yeah.
seeking out what you really want to do in life, and what your post-secondary school goals are, and like going for it. So yeah, that's awesome. I think that yeah, along with, the amount of scholarships that there are out there, and the essay editing process, I think that having that self motivation to keep you going,
Mm.
is really beneficial. And was there anything in particular that helped motivate you?
I feel like being a part of a program like this motivated me the most because it's
Yeah,
like someone always keeping me in check and reminding me, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to stay on track. And
yeah,
it's not something we can just ignore, you know? So
yeah.
it's like that constant reminder that I joined it for a reason. I joined this program for a reason because I know where I needed to be, and it's you guys are doing exactly that, helping me stay on track. So
Awesome. That's so great to hear, because sometimes I worry, like, are we sending out too many emails? Like, are we calling them too
no,
many
definitely not. We need that reminder.
times? Well, that's excellent to hear. That's awesome. And I know
Mhm.
that I'm just about to get into the third question here, but is there any other way that the program has helped you along this process?
A major thing is introducing the star structure to me. That was a big thing because I've never heard of that before. Like
Yeah,
I've always thought of myself as like a decent writer. Like I do fairly well in school, and I thought like okay, like scholarships that could be easy. Just write down like personal experiences, talk about what they want me to talk about, and all that stuff. But having that structure that you guys kind of like place in our head so much, which is such a good thing, and I'm thankful
yeah.
for it. That star structure is like that's probably like the most valuable thing you could have in your essay writing, and that's something that like I've gotten from your program especially.
That is so
Yeah.
cool to hear, because I feel like, honestly, I review a lot of students' essays, and I've reviewed all your essays, and you've pretty much nailed it now, the whole star structure. And seeing where students have been, at the beginning of the program to now, I'm so happy that that formatting has helped you, because it allows you to really show your impact within each role or community involvement that you've been a part of. And I'm
Mhm.
really happy to hear that that's helped you, because once you know that, you can like really easily identify, okay, I need to add more action, or I need to increase my like context on my situation. So
Yeah.
that's really cool to hear, Huda. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so the last question that I had for you, is, what
Mhm.
would be your biggest advice to students who are about to start this whole scholarship process?
My biggest advice is don't delay. Don't delay anything. If you're thinking about like maybe should I apply to scholarships now or later or something, you need to have a sort of guidance. You need to look into things, find a program like this one especially, and just kind of like the goal setting again, like keep in mind that this is what I need to do. I don't know how I'm going to get there yet, but I need to find a way to get there somehow with the help of someone if I need it.
For sure.
So that's the biggest one I feel like is don't delay, like stay on task and stay on like task with everything and keep your goal in your mind.
For
Yeah.
sure. I love it.
Mhm.
That's awesome. I feel like, yeah, having that accountability, and whether it be through a
Mhm.
program or someone that you work with, or your family members, and just keeping, yeah, motivated on staying on top of all of those deadlines. And I think that also is great advice, because it allows students to recognize that, whatever opportunity is in front of you, just go for it. And
Mhm.
apply to as many scholarships as you can, and just work through that process, because it's really going to pay off for you, and it has definitely for you,
Exactly. Yeah.
staying on top of these deadlines and just
Mhm.
applying.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Ex-
I think that's great advice for students, coming into this process. And, the whole purpose of
mhm.
this interview is to really show, your success through the program, how it's helped you, and, educating grade 11s coming into this whole process, that they can do it as well. And,
Mhm.
through that motivation that you've talked about, essay editing tools that you've learned, any student can be successful, which is really awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Well, thanks so
Mhm.
much for sitting down with me today, Huda. It was such
Thank
a
you so
pleasure
much.
speaking with you. And we'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye.